The breakup between Klay Thompson and Megan Thee Stallion has been dominating conversations all week. Ever since Megan went public with her claims that Klay had been unfaithful, people everywhere have had something to say, and the responses have been anything but unified. Some are firmly in Megan's corner, while others have surprisingly stepped up to defend Klay.
Just break up and go on your merry way. How come you couldn't just say, Klay Thompson and I are no longer together, and leave it at that? Why we got to dog the brother out? When they don't even know all the details, only what you tell. I'm quite sure Klay Thompson got a different version of what the hell happened. You don't see him talking about it. He don't deserve that.
Megan fans are online saying that Klay Thompson would have been nobody without Megan Thee Stallion, that nobody would have ever known who he was until she gave him a chance. Some of you are saying that he lucky that Megan decided to settle for him.
We didn't know Klay Thompson before Meg Thee Stallion. We didn't know Stephon Diggs before Cardi B. And while these guys have more money than these girls have social and global influence. Meg Thee Stallion made Klay a global star, whether he wants to admit or not. These men like to use these women for come-ups and for social status because, don't ever get it twisted, girls. Social currency is still a currency. If you are well known in your circle and you are well respected, a guy can use that for a social come-up because being with you makes him look good. If Meg Thee Stallion is dating him, he must be popping. He must be giving guys. You need to be very, very careful because guys are users just like girls.
No, he's talking about Klay. No, niggas be like, yo, Klay Thompson fumbled Meg Thee Stallion. And then we gotta sit here and fake be careful with our words. You rap about being a hoe. Mad rappers you. She promotes having wet ass pussy and fucks mad other rappers. And then you get with a nigga, he don't want to be monogamous and he fumbled. What's the thinking?
How's he gonna settle down if she preaching flattery?
As you can see, opinions on the Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson breakup are all over the place. And honestly, I do feel a certain sympathy for Megan. As I mentioned in a previous video, she was genuinely invested in this relationship. She actually wanted it to work, but Klay wasn't upfront about his intentions from the start. Think about everything she did. She was in his home, and by some accounts, they had actually purchased a place together. She was cooking for him and meeting his family, and he even named a boat after her. He was spending real money on her. All of that sends a very clear message that this was something serious, but apparently it wasn't. The whole time, Klay had no real interest in being faithful to her. He gave her false hope, and that's just wrong, plain and simple. That's why I feel for Megan, but I also wish she had looked a little more closely at his track record, because Klay Thompson has a history of this. Multiple ex-girlfriends have called him out for cheating. This isn't a one-time mistake. This is a pattern, a character issue. I wasn't aware of all this until recently either, but once you see it, it's hard to ignore. Now, Megan may have assumed he was a good guy because he came across as a nice one, but here's the thing. Being nice and being good are not the same thing. It doesn't matter how charming someone appears. What matters is their actions and their pattern of behavior over time, and Megan, unfortunately, seems to have missed some of those red flags. That's also why I think going public with the relationship so early wasn't the wisest move. She didn't yet have enough time to truly gauge whether he was serious about her. She was eager to build something real with him, but Klay Thompson simply did not take her seriously. And sadly, I do think her public reputation played a role in that. He seemed to view her as a good time rather than a genuine partner. She was trying to show him otherwise, but he wasn't interested in that version of her. He used her for her body and for her visibility. Now, some people push back on that last part. They argue that since Klay is a 4-time NBA champion, he wouldn't need to use Megan for social clout. But you'd be surprised. A lot of athletes are actively looking to expand their brand beyond the sports world. Being linked to someone like Megan Thee Stallion absolutely brings a different kind of attention and new audiences. And on top of all that, according to the latest rumors, he's already been sliding into the DMs of another celebrity.
Source very close to the situation that throughout Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson's whole relationship, Klay Thompson has been sliding into the DMs regularly of at least one prominent woman.
Yeah, this is alleged, but this is what we heard from a very well-placed source.
Yeah, it's not really alleged. We know someone who saw it. We know someone who saw the DMs.
That alone says a lot about where Klay's head was. He wasn't content with Megan. He was already out here pursuing other celebrity women. Reports suggest at least one prominent figure was involved, possibly more. And naturally, people are curious about who exactly he was reaching out to. Some have speculated about names like Kendall Jenner, and honestly, it wouldn't come as a shock. There's a well-known pattern of celebrity men gravitating toward the Kardashian-Jenner circle. Some people even theorize, allegedly, that there's some kind of social arrangement that comes with those connections. Now, that's speculation, not fact, but the pattern is hard to ignore. Whether Klay was chasing that world or had already dipped a toe in it, the bottom line is this. While he was with Megan, his attention was clearly elsewhere and aimed at someone with fame and status. For anyone still arguing that Klay wouldn't use Megan for social clout, consider the bigger picture. His career is visibly winding down. He's no longer with the Golden State Warriors, the team where he built his legacy and enjoyed massive public attention. Since being traded, his on-court performance hasn't been what it once was, so aligning himself with a high-profile celebrity like Megan absolutely fills a visibility gap he's been dealing with. That context matters. Now, after Megan put him on blast, Klay responded in the most unbothered way possible, posting himself out on his boat looking completely unbothered. But the internet wasn't letting him off that easily. People went after him hard. Meanwhile, Megan and her team have been working the sympathy angle. She wrapped up her run on the Broadway show Moulin Rouge earlier than expected, and it was framed as though the heartbreak forced her to step away. But honestly, that narrative feels a little stretched. Megan has plenty on her plate. She's reportedly heading to the Met Gala, she has new music on the way, and she's clearly gearing up for a whole new chapter. The early exit from Broadway was likely about preparation, not heartbreak. But a dramatic storyline sells, so here we are. While Megan moves forward, Klay is still getting dragged, and really, he brought it on himself. If he wasn't going to be serious about her, he never should have gone down that road with her at all. Something tells me he's feeling the weight of that decision now. One moment that went particularly viral was a man publicly calling out Stephen A. Smith for defending Klay Thompson. He went in on Stephen A. pretty hard, and in the comments, Klay himself actually showed up and told the guy to go touch grass. The guy fired right back, telling Klay to stop touching other women and take some accountability. That exchange spread fast, and Klay is not going to be living that one down anytime soon. But there's another person caught in the middle of all this who deserves some attention. Lexi Brown. A tweet went viral accusing her of being Klay's side chick, and just like that, she was dragged into a situation she says had nothing to do with her. At first, she limited her comments and stayed quiet, but she eventually released a statement fully denying the rumors. What makes this even worse is that she's reportedly been receiving threats over it, which is completely out of line. She deserves none of that.
Do know each other because we both play professional basketball. I would have considered him a friend. I do not know Meg Thee Stallion at all. You know, today, I'm still the only person that has denied this entire situation of my involvement and claim that this is 100% false. And the fact that I'm still the only one that is defending my name, I have no idea how to process that. There's this massive outcry for protecting Black women, and nobody has mentioned Lexi Brown's name in any of those conversations. Because again, I have no idea what is going on. I have no involvement. I've had no communication at all whatsoever during their relationship. So for them to just allow me to get dragged, for a lot of people to allow me to get dragged through the mud for, I don't know, it seems like 4 days now. Surely somebody that knows the truth, and that is almost everybody involved, knows that I was not involved in this situation at all, would surely step in and say something. And it didn't happen. I was getting threats on my life. I was getting threats on my health. My family started getting comments and threats from people. I've had to hire security to travel with me places. So it got to a point where I just was scared for myself.
This whole situation with Lexi is genuinely upsetting. The level of parasocial behavior people display toward celebrities is something else entirely. And moments like this show just how far it can go. Sending threats to someone and their family over celebrity gossip? That's not passion. That's unhinged behavior, plain and simple. It's deeply troubling how detached from reality some people get when it comes to famous strangers. But credit where it's due, at least Lexi spoke up for herself. Because let's be honest, she wasn't getting any help from either side. Megan isn't about to rein in her fan base, and Klay hasn't said a word in her defense, even though realistically, he's the one who should be stepping up. And again, if he did say something, it would probably make things worse. People would immediately turn around and ask, well, if it's not her, then who is it? He gets dragged either way. So his silence, while frustrating, is somewhat predictable.